Hello and welcome back to our community, where we are dedicated to helping you age with strength, dignity, and vitality. If there is one thing that I hear over and over again from the thousands of people I speak with, it is this: I am tired. And usually, they don't mean they are tired from running a marathon. They are tired because they haven't had a full night of uninterrupted sleep in years. They are waking up 2, 3, maybe even 4 times every single night to use the bathroom. If you are watching this, you know exactly what I am talking about. You know that feeling of finally drifting off into a deep, restorative sleep, only to be jerked awake by that urgent pressure in your bladder. You stumble out of bed in the dark, which, let's be honest, is a major fall risk. You do your business, and then you lie awake for an hour trying to fall back asleep. It is exhausting. It affects your mood, your memory, your balance, and your heart health. It is called Nocturia, and most people think it is just a normal part of aging. They think, well, I'm over 60, my bladder is just small, this is my life now. I am here to tell you that is a myth. While our bodies do change, waking up 4 times a night is not something you just have to accept. In fact, for many of you, the problem isn't even your bladder. The problem is your legs. That might sound crazy, but stay with me. In this video, I am going to explain a physiological phenomenon called fluid shift that is likely the hidden cause of your nighttime bathroom trips. And more importantly, I am going to give you a specific, scientifically backed 2-minute routine that you can do tonight right before you get into bed that can drastically reduce that urgency. We are going to talk about gravity, we are going to talk about circulation, and we are going to fix your sleep. This isn't about taking a pill, and it isn't about dehydrating yourself so you feel like a dried up sponge. It is about timing and technique. So, please, put your phone on silent, get comfortable, and let's reclaim your sleep. To fix this problem, we first have to understand what is actually happening inside your body. Why does your bladder seem to behave perfectly fine during the day? You might go 3 or 4 hours without needing the restroom while you are active, gardening, or shopping. But the moment your head hits the pillow, it feels like your kidneys go into overdrive. Why? The answer lies in your circulation system. As we age, our heart and our veins lose a little bit of their efficiency. The veins in your legs have tiny valves that are supposed to push blood back up to your heart against gravity. Over time, those valves weaken. This is why you might notice your socks leaving a deep indentation in your ankles at the end of the day, or why your feet look a little puffy in the evening. This is called peripheral edema, or fluid retention. Here's the critical part. During the day, when you are standing or sitting, gravity is pulling fluid down into your lower body. It gets trapped in the tissues of your feet, ankles, and calves. It's like a sponge soaking up water. You don't feel the need to pee this fluid out because it is stuck in your legs, not in your bladder. But, and here is the aha moment, when you lie down flat in bed to sleep, you remove gravity from the equation. Suddenly, all that fluid that was pooled in your legs is free to flow back into your bloodstream. It rushes from your legs, up through your veins, and hits your kidneys. Your kidneys detect this massive wave of extra fluid and think, whoa, we have too much water in the system. We need to get rid of this. So they start producing urine rapidly. Even though you haven't drunk a drop of water since dinner, your kidneys are processing the fluid that was hiding in your legs all day. That is why you wake up at 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. You are basically drowning your bladder from the inside out. So the solution isn't just don't drink water. The solution is to get that fluid out of your legs before you go to sleep, so your kidneys can process it while you are still awake. This brings us to our specific 2-minute routine. This routine has 3 parts: the elevation, the pump, and the flush. Let's start with part 1, the elevation. I want you to start this routine about 1 hour before you plan to actually sleep. You don't have to be in bed for the night, but you should be winding down. Maybe you are watching TV or reading a book. I want you to lie down on the couch or your bed and get your legs up. And I don't mean just putting them on a footstool. For this to work physically, your feet need to be level with, or ideally slightly higher than, your heart. This allows gravity to work in reverse. Instead of pulling fluid down into your feet, Gravity will now pull that fluid out of your ankles and back towards your core. You need to stay in this position for about 30 minutes. I know I said 2-minute routine in the title, the active exercises take 2 minutes, but this passive elevation is the preparation. Think of it as draining the swamp. While you lie there, you can read, you can meditate, you can listen to music. Just let gravity do the work. You might actually feel a sensation of relief in your legs as the pressure decreases. Now, part 2, the pump. This is the active 2-minute part. While your legs are elevated, or right after you sit up, we need to manually assist that fluid movement. We are going to use your calf muscles as a pump. Your calf muscles are often called your second heart because every time they contract, they squeeze the veins and shoot blood back up to your actual heart. We are going to do ankle pumps. Point your toes as far away from you as you can, like a ballerina. Then pull them back towards your nose as hard as you can. Do this firmly and rhythmically. Point, flex, point, flex. I want you to do this 20 times. Then we are going to do ankle circles. Rotate your feet in big circles, 10 times clockwise, 10 times counterclockwise. This movement physically squeezes the fluid out of the tissues and into the bloodstream. After the pumps, we do a quick lymphatic massage. Don't let the name scare you, it's very simple. Take both hands and wrap them around your ankle. Squeeze gently, not so hard that it hurts, but firm enough to feel pressure. Then, in a slow, sweeping motion, stroke upwards from your ankle towards your knee. Imagine you are squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the bottom up. We are manually pushing that fluid up towards the lymph nodes behind the knee. Do this 10 times on each leg. This entire sequence, the pumps, the circles, the massage, takes about 2 minutes. By doing this an hour before bed, you are forcing that fluid back into your system. Part 3, the flush. This is the result of what we just did. About 30 to 45 minutes after you do the elevation and the pumping, you are going to feel a strong urge to urinate. This is good. This is exactly what we want. We want that urge to happen now, while you are watching the evening news, not 3 hours from now when you are in deep REM sleep. Go to the bathroom, empty your bladder completely. This is the fluid that would have woken you up at 2 a.m. You have successfully evicted it before bedtime. This is the concept of strategic voiding. You are hacking your body's fluid management system. Now, while this physical routine is powerful, it won't work if you are sabotaging yourself with your intake. This brings us to the second major pillar of our strategy, the fluid curfew. I recommend a fluid curfew starting at 6 p.m. or roughly 3 to 4 hours before your bedtime. Now, please listen carefully because I don't want you to dehydrate yourself. This does not mean you drink less water overall. It means you front load your hydration. You need to drink the majority of your water in the morning and early afternoon. Wake up and have a big glass. Have water with lunch. Sip throughout the afternoon. But once the clock strikes 6 p.m., the kitchen is closed for liquids. No big mug of herbal tea, no glass of milk, no bowl of soup. Soup counts as fluid. If you take medication at night, take it with a tiny sip of water, just enough to get the pill down, not a whole glass. Many people tell me, but I get so thirsty at night. This is often a habit, or it's because you ate a very salty dinner. Salt is a sponge. If you eat a high sodium meal for dinner like processed meats, canned soup, or takeout, your body holds onto fluid to dilute that salt. Then, later in the night as you process the salt, you get thirsty, you drink, and the cycle continues. Try to keep your dinner low sodium. Fresh vegetables, lean proteins, no added salt shaker. This will dramatically reduce that nighttime thirst. If your mouth feels dry, try using a mouth moisturizer spray or just swishing a little water in your mouth and spitting it out rather than gulping it down. Let's talk about bladder irritants. Sometimes it's not the amount of fluid, but the type of fluid that is the enemy. There are certain substances that act like chemical warfare on your bladder wall. They irritate the lining, making the bladder feel like it needs to contract and empty even when it's only half full. The biggest offenders are caffeine and alcohol. I know, a glass of wine or a beer with dinner feels relaxing. It might even help you fall asleep faster. But alcohol is a diuretic. It forces your kidneys to create more urine. It also suppresses a hormone called vasopressin, which is the antidiuretic hormone. Normally, your body releases vasopressin at night to tell your kidneys to slow down. Alcohol turns that signal off. So, you might fall asleep, but you will wake up for the bathroom, and then the alcohol will prevent you from getting back into deep sleep. My advice? Cut the alcohol out completely for 2 weeks and just see what happens. You might be shocked at how much better you sleep. Caffeine is the other culprit. And remember, caffeine has a half-life. If you drink a cup of coffee at 4 p.m., half of that caffeine is still in your system at 10 p.m. It is stimulating your kidneys and irritating your bladder while you are trying to sleep. Switch to decaf after 12 p.m., not 5 p.m. noon. Give your body a full 10 hours to clear the caffeine. Other hidden irritants include spicy foods, tomato-based products, and chocolate. If you are struggling with nocturia, try eating a bland dinner for a few days to see if it makes a difference. There's another medical condition we need to address because it mimics a small bladder, and that is sleep apnea. This is huge for seniors and often undiagnosed. When you have sleep apnea, you stop breathing for short periods during the night. Your oxygen levels drop. Your heart panics and starts pumping harder to get oxygen to your brain. This signals your body that there is a fluid overload in the heart, and your heart releases a specific hormone called atrial natriuretic peptide. This hormone tells your kidneys, you guessed it, to dump fluid. So, you wake up needing to pee, not because your bladder was full, but because your heart was stressed from lack of oxygen. If you snore loudly, if you wake up gasping, or if your partner says you stop breathing, please get a sleep study. Treating apnea with a CPAP machine often cures the nighttime urination completely, which surprises a lot of people. Now, let's discuss the mechanics of the bathroom trip itself. For the men watching, an enlarged prostate is a very common factor. The prostate wraps around the urethra like a donut. As it grows, it squeezes the tube, making it hard to fully empty the bladder. You might go, think you are done, but your bladder is still half full. An hour later, you need to go again. This is called incomplete emptying. There's a technique called double voiding that can help both men and women. When you go to the bathroom during your pre-bed routine, sit down, yes, men too, sit down. It relaxes the pelvic floor muscles better, and go until you feel finished. Then, stand up or shift your position. Wait about 30 seconds and try to go again. Lean forward slightly. You will be surprised how often a little bit more comes out. That extra ounce could be the difference between sleeping until 6 a.m. or waking up at 4 a.m. For the ladies, specifically, low estrogen after menopause causes the tissues of the urethra and bladder to thin and become weaker. This leads to urgency. Pelvic floor exercises, or Kegels, are not just for young women after childbirth. They are essential for seniors too. Strengthening those muscles can help you hold that urge and suppress the spasms that wake you up. But you have to do them correctly. A lot of people just squeeze their buttocks, which does nothing. You need to isolate the muscles that stop the flow of urine. Practice squeezing for 5 seconds, relaxing for 5 seconds. Do this 10 times, 3 times a day. It takes a few weeks to feel the difference, but it is like weightlifting for your bladder control. I also want to touch on the environment. Sometimes we wake up for other reasons, a noise, a temperature change, pain in a joint, and because we are awake, we notice our bladder and think, I guess I should go. If we hadn't woken up, our bladder would have been fine until morning. This is where sleep hygiene comes in. Is your room dark enough? Is it cool enough? Seniors often keep their houses very warm, but a hot room disrupts sleep cycles. Try lowering the thermostat to 68 degrees. Use blackout curtains. If you have joint pain that wakes you up, address that with proper pillows, like a pillow between the knees for side sleepers, so that pain doesn't pull you out of deep sleep. The goal is to protect your sleep cycle so your brain ignores the mild signals from the bladder. Let's put this all together into a pro-sleep schedule that you can write down. Morning, wake up, drink a large glass of water with lemon. Lunch, eat a good meal, have your water. Afternoon, sip water, stay active. Walking engages the calf muscles and helps prevent fluid buildup in the first place. The more you sit, the more you swell. 6 p.m., fluid curfew begins. Switch to sipping only if necessary. Dinner, low salt, no alcohol, no spicy food. 7:30 p.m., relaxing time. 8:30 p.m., 1 hour before bed. Begin the fluid shift routine. Lie down, elevate legs above the heart, read or watch TV. 9 p.m. Sit up. Do the 20 ankle pumps, 10 ankle circles, and the calf massage. 9:15 p.m. Get ready for bed. Brush teeth, pajamas. The final flush, go to the bathroom. Use the double voiding technique. 9:45 p.m. Lights out. If you try this routine, really commit to it for 7 days and you are still waking up 3 or 4 times a night, or if you have pain when you urinate or see blood in your urine, you need to see a doctor. It could be a sign of a urinary tract infection, uncontrolled diabetes, or a more serious prostate or bladder issue. Nocturia is a symptom, and while this routine fixes the mechanical and lifestyle causes, we always want to rule out medical pathology. Also, check your medications. Diuretics for blood pressure, water pills, should usually be taken in the morning. If you are taking them at night, you are guaranteeing a night in the bathroom. Ask your doctor if you can switch the timing. I know this sounds like a lot of steps, but once you do it for a few nights, it becomes automatic. And think about the reward. Imagine waking up in the morning and realizing, wait, I didn't get up, I slept through the night. Imagine the energy you will have. Imagine how much clearer your mind will feel. Sleep is the foundation of health. When you protect your sleep, you protect your heart, your brain, and your mood. You deserve that rest. Let's talk a bit more about the psychological aspect. The fear of wetting the bed or not making it in time can actually increase the urge. It creates a feedback loop of anxiety. By taking control with this routine, you are sending a signal to your brain that you are safe, you are empty, and you are prepared. This lowers that background anxiety. If you do wake up in the night and the urge is mild, try a technique called suppression. Instead of jumping out of bed immediately, which spikes your heart rate and wakes you up fully, try to lie still. Do a few gentle Kegel squeezes. Breathe deeply. Often, the urge is just a momentary bladder spasm. If you can ride it out for 2 minutes, it will often fade away and you can drift back to sleep. Of course, if it hurts or is urgent, go. But don't train your bladder that every tiny whisper requires a trip. We want to stretch its capacity a little bit. One final tip regarding your bedding: heavy blankets can sometimes make it hard to turn over. If you struggle to move in bed, you might wake up more fully just trying to get comfortable, which then triggers the bladder awareness. Satin sheets or silk pajamas can make it easier to slide and turn, keeping you in a more relaxed state. I want to re-emphasize the leg elevation height. I see many people putting a small throw pillow under their heels and thinking that is enough. It is not. Physics requires the feet to be higher than the heart. Use 3 pillows, or a foam wedge specifically designed for legs, or lie on the floor and put your legs up on the couch seat. That is the perfect angle. If you have back pain, be careful. Sometimes lifting the legs too high can flatten the lower back. Putting a small towel roll under your lumbar spine might help, or just elevating them to a comfortable height is better than nothing. Listen to your body. To wrap this up, remember that aging is not a disease. It is a process. And while parts of the process, like nocturia, are annoying, they are often manageable with the right knowledge. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to just accept exhaustion. Try the fluid shift routine. Try the 6 p.m. curfew. Watch your salt. Give your body the support it needs to do its job. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. How many times a night are you currently waking up? Have you tried stopping fluids early before? Let's share our experiences and help each other figure this out. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend who looks tired. They will thank you for it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next video, where we will be talking about the 5 foods that are secretly causing your joint pain. You won't want to miss that. Thank you for spending this time with me. Sleep well, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.